Hey there, everybody. Matthew Thomas here, coming at you with my first reaction review. Um, and I'm a little late to the game on this one, but I want to talk about the Suicide Squad. Not all, when I do these going forward, they're not all necessarily going to be movies that just came out, but I figured for the first one I'll do one that's fairly recent. I kind of wish I'd come up with this idea and I could have done it well, maybe not over the weekend, but at least on Monday or something like that, so that it was a little bit more topical. But nevertheless, what the hell? I like talking movies, and that's a movie that people are talking about, so why not join the conversation? Or at least they were talking about it. So I saw it. Just to give you a little bit of background, I have not been a very big fan of the DCEU so far. I haven't hated it by any means. I thought Batman v Superman had some really great elements, like Batman and Wonder Woman, and then some god awful stuff. Like I thought Lex Luthor was just so abhorrent. The scene with the Jolly Rancher just blew my mind. I don't know why he was trying to be the Joker. I know it's not supposed to be the original. I think no, it's supposed to be Lex Jr., but still, I don't think of Lex Luthor as being a Joker wannabe. The Martha reveal just still so cheap. Um, but I'm not talking about that movie. I was just trying to give you an idea. And Man of Steel, I kind of felt the same way, where there was some parts of it that I really liked. One of my favorite parts of Man of Steel, as an aside, was I loved how Zod, when he kind of left the ship, was so overwhelmed by all the being able to hear all of the people all over the world, like just basically that they showed him for that moment where it was like, because he like it's not he wasn't the same off of Earth because of our red sun. So I thought it was really cool to just see him like be that way for the first time, and like not necessarily being able to handle it. But then I had a lot of the same issues that a lot of people did. But probably my biggest issue was the Clark's dad's death scene. Just was so idiotic to me. But again, we're not talking about that movie. We're talking about the Suicide Squad. Again, I gotta say, I feel somewhat let down, and I feel like it's a fairly mixed bag. I will say that I think this is the best of the three for me. It was the most enjoyable. There was more stuff in it that I thought was great than stuff that I thought was bad. But stuff that was bad I thought was really bad and was really important. Like probably the biggest thing that I thought was bad was the Enchantress after her reveal. Like in this scene, spoilers. I should have said that at the very beginning. Spoilers. I'll put it in brackets when I do the thing just to make sure. But when they did her reveal in that moment with the hand, like that was so cool. I thought that was awesome. I was in. I thought this character was gonna be great. And then she teleports and gets the papers from wherever. I thought that was awesome. I was like, this is a great character. But then after that scene, just awful. Like when she was doing at the end, I thought that was just annoying. And I thought it made no sense that she was able to be beaten by the Suicide Squad. I know Diablo had a pretty good power, but the rest of them I felt like should have been absolutely what Harley Quinn has a mallet. Like they're trying to put together this team, so the premise is what if as they set up in the movie, not in the comics, mind you, but in the movie they set up being like, what if the next Superman isn't somebody that is on our side? And I thought that's a great premise, but then you get Harley Quinn on the team, and I really like Harley Quinn as a character. She was one of the best parts of the movie. But let's say it was another Kryptonian, for instance. Let's say it was Zod again. Obviously, it's not going to be because he was in the other movie, but let's just say it was, right? What the hell is the woman that's crazy with the giant mallet gonna do to him? Like, that's just stupid. Deadshot, I loved him in the movie again, but again, I just don't I don't see what he would be able to do against like a super duper powered character. I like them much more as like the street level team, which is kind of what they're like in the comics. But Enchantress isn't a street level villain. Like she's somebody that the Justice League should be dealing with, because the entire time when that scene happen. Like, they already showed that she could teleport anywhere in the world and take things with her. I just thought to myself, when the Suicide Squad people show up, either A, why doesn't she just leave if she thinks that they're dangerous to her, and B, why doesn't she just grab one of them, teleport to the like New York skyline, drop them, go back, grab another one, and just keep dropping them, and then them all fall to their death. Even like Diablo, he had to be convinced to actually use his power. So in that, like in the moment while they're like trying to convince him, grab him, teleport him, drop him. Maybe you could argue that the doctor inside was fighting that, but there was nothing set up in the movie that showed that she had any kind of control. And I also just love the idea of an archaeologist finding something and being like, snap, like, come on, that's just awful. But like the biggest thing to me was just like it really felt like, and a lot of people have said this, but it just felt like a lot of movies kind of like Frankensteined together. Like there's like, for instance, like to me, my favorite moment in the entire movie, the moment that I was like, that's awesome, was the bar scene, and especially when like Rick Flag is like, okay, everybody can go, and Captain Boomerang literally just stands up and walks out. I was like, oh, that's great, because they're villains. Like, well, at least one of them should do that. But then the next scene, he's just back, and I'm like, come on, like that's just stupid. Like, I get it. Like, and like that was one thing that I'm absolutely amazed by. I thought Captain Boomerang was awesome in this movie, and it's played by Jai Courtney. Jai frickin' Courtney, the guy who ruined Die Hard, the guy who's been awful in so many movies, and I thought he was great in this movie. But again, what's the guy with the boomerangs gonna do to Superman? I mean, I felt like it was a mixed bag. Like overall, when I was able to shut up my mind, I enjoyed it. And the other thing too is a lot of people are talking about the Joker. Personally, I liked the Joker. I do agree with a lot of people who felt like it was kind of false advertising because it kind of made it seem like he was going to be a much bigger deal in the movie. But every time he showed up, I was excited to see him. And I'm a huge Joker fan, mainly from the movies. But I liked him. I mean, I understand why somebody may not. Like his laugh, I know some of the people I know in my personal life just hated his laugh, found it annoying, and I can completely understand where they're coming from, but it just didn't bother me. And I liked him and Harley Quinn together. I didn't necessarily buy the implied, like, maybe even romance between Harley Quinn and Deadshot, but I thought Deadshot and Harley Quinn together as a whole were awesome. Like, I thought they had tons of chemistry, and I mean, it's pretty hard to not have chemistry when you're Margot freaking Robbie and Will freaking Smith. Should stop saying freaking. But yeah, like, I mean, the problem is, as many things as I can point to that I liked, like, there's just as many things that I'm like, well, maybe not just as many, but a lot of things I'm like Katana, like, so useless in the movie, like served no purpose. And I don't know, maybe she's gonna be a bigger part in like another movie or a sequel or something like that. But that's not an excuse for like setting up a character and doing nothing with them. Killer Croc again. I felt he could, like, I know it's a team and like not all, like, you're gonna focus on certain team members, but like you look at like Civil War, the most obvious example of a movie that you can compare it to, and it's definitely, it's a Captain America and Iron Man movie, but all the people who are on both teams have their moments. That's just not the case here, I don't feel. So yeah, I mean, if I was going to give it, an out of 10 score, I'd say probably like about a 7. And a lot of that is just because I enjoyed a lot of it. Not like from a storytelling point of view, I'd give it like a 5. Like, I think the story was pretty shoddily told. Like, I still have no idea how Amanda Waller ended up being like the person that was kidnapped. Like that. Last I knew, she was in that room that she killed that dude. Like, I don't know what the hell happened there. It just wasn't set up at all. And then when she was there, she just kind of left. Like, I don't know, why was she there? Like, just terrible. There was this, from a storytelling point of view, I thought it was really, really bad. But it was fun. So even though I could see all the flaws, I enjoyed it. So there you go. There are my thoughts.